Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger.
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 And welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben, and this is my spoiler-free review for The Bad Batch, the pilot episode, which is 70-something minutes long. It's so good. I can't wait to talk about it. So don't worry, though. This is spoiler-free. I'm just going to give you kind of moments to kind of tantalize you, get you excited. If you're watching this review afterwards, then you're fine.
What else you got?
Let me know in the comments below, which is your favorite animated Star Wars in the whole of the universe? What do you like the most? Star Wars The Bad Batch follows the elite and experimental clones of the Bad Batch first introduced in the Clone Wars, who vary genetically from their brothers in the clone army. Each possesses a singular exceptional skill that makes them extraordinarily effective soldiers and a formidable crew. So we have Wrecker, Hunter, Echo,
Hyperdrive's online.
Tech,
Prepping to jump.
and Crosshair.
Your move.
Firstly, I should say they do an amazing job of just kind of thrusting us into the world of the Clone Wars. It kind of starts there. And so you very much feel like you're at home. And D. Bradley Baker is the, well, voice of quite a few of the clones in this. We have a few of like those people that are just fantastic at voice work, and you'll just feel at home already. You'll know that they've worked in the industry for a long time, and that's what I feel about this first episode. It just places you in the zone, in the Star Wars universe, in the Clone Wars. You know, the music, everything feels like you've been watching the Clone Wars for like 3-4 seasons, and yet now this is a new thing. It also manages to differentiate itself. So where it first places you in the Clone Wars kind of universe, then we have the Bad Batch, which kind of starts doing its own thing, which is great because we have the clones, as we know, they're like carbon copies of each other, but then we've had a few in the Clone Wars which have characteristics, and those are always very interesting and always fun to watch, like Rex, who's progressed in the Clone Wars to having a real amazing personality that every time you see him get in trouble you're worried for him because you really like him as a character. They managed to do that with these characters very quickly. Each of our 5 unique individual clones have such great personality. You know, there is the classic, I'm the big guy, I'm the tech guy, I'm the funny guy, I'm the leader of the guy. You know, you have all of that, but they also very quickly start differentiating them as what makes them tick. We have some backstory as to how it works. I really like how they've integrated some of the stories and some characters from the Clone Wars as well, so that you see other people that you meet along the way. I'm really trying to not do any spoilers, but there are moments where you're like, yeah, cool, that's that person. Oh, that person's quite different to how I expected them to be, but it definitely places you in the Star Wars universe, in the Clone Wars particularly. There's also a moment right at the beginning, I was like, you're going to have to make me live through all of this again. I can't believe it. This is too much, man. Do I have to live this through again? So it feels like it has heart as well, and so we get that beginning bit, and then later on, as our characters are developed, as we have our 5 main clones, you know, that are their inhibited chips are not working, so they have the space to develop their personalities, and we see that we really are getting that backstory in the story. So there's no flashbacks, it's just about who they are, and that comes across in their dialogue, how they speak, that comes across how they act, the decisions they make. You see that they're totally different from the clones that we get, and that is the most fun about this. Also, the story itself is unique because it centers on them being the Bad Batch, or the Sad Batch as one of the clones calls them. There's this thing that they're lesser than, and yet we see that for some reason they stand out more. You know, for anybody watching, the viewer going, yeah, they much more than. The abilities that they have, the way they're able to differentiate battle plans and think outside of the box, gives them an edge in battle, and that's always fun to watch. The action scenes themselves are great, as you expect them to. See how they act in battle outside of that box. It's really fun to watch them do what they do. But I think it's the heart of the story that makes it very, very, makes you want to watch from the next moment to the next moment. When this episode finished, I felt like it had flown by, 76 minutes, which is unusual. It's like in 3 episodes back to back. Even the Clone Wars did it when they started. They did like a feature film. This feels like a feature, although the time flies by and you really want to stick on the next episode. Which thankfully we're getting a second episode, because this is released on May the 4th, because it's Star Wars Day, which is fantastic. But also they're weekly episodes, so they come out on Fridays on Disney Plus. We're not getting the 76 minutes, obviously. They're back down to like 28 minutes if you take away the credits. Maybe they'll go up. As far as we know, they're going to be those 30-minute episodes, which is fine. I'm really enjoying it. I hope we get more seasons of them because it's so much fun to see them going and living in this world that's changing. So we have that change of the clones kind of not being what they were, changing because of the the inhibited chip. The Emperor Palpatine is doing his thing. We have all these moving pieces, and we're just then seeing these clones following their journey. There's also an extra character that I think is going to play a major part in this series, which I think is very interesting to watch because we get to see this new family dynamic kind of work, and you can see how they're going to act as clones as well as a family. They're a dysfunctional family, but that always makes for kind of the most interesting stories, I guess, for a dysfunctional family to see how they work. So their kinks, their weirdness, and that's always entertaining. And so along the way we get heart, which is what the story has managed to do. We get a great soundtrack, which is very Star Wars. We get the Clone Wars placing you in the zone. We have fantastic voice work, as we'd come to expect. Just feels at home. It's like you've been watching this like 3 seasons in. It could be exactly like that. You've been watching this for ages. So well done that it's doing its own thing, but it's also also feels like it's part of that universe completely. Can't wait to see the rest. Let me know what you're most excited about to see in this series. Who do you think is going to be your favorite character? I like Wrecker. I think he's great. He's my favorite character so far. Thanks so much for watching this, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.